A popular high school girl turned into a demon who always tried to kill to stay beautiful. The film opens by showing a young woman named Needy. She is currently being treated in a mental institution. It is never clearly explained what led to Needy being placed there, but she suddenly attacks a nurse and causes a disturbance which results in her being locked in separate cell. It is there that Needy begins telling the story of how her life ended up like this. The story then flashes back to 2 months earlier at a high school in a small town called Devil's Kettle, a town known for its strange waterfall with a mysterious whirlpool hole whose endpoint even scientists have never been able to determine. At school, Needy is portrayed as an awkward, nerdy, and quiet student. She is best friends with Jennifer, the most beautiful, popular, and attention-grabbing girl in school, and it is known that they have been friends since childhood. Although many people wonder why they are still friends despite their striking differences, Needy and Jennifer remain inseparable. One day, Jennifer invites Needy to watch an indie band called Low Shoulder perform. Jennifer openly admits that she is interested in Nikolai, the band's lead vocalist, and plans to approach him that night. Not wanting to let her best friend go alone, Needy cancels her plans with her boyfriend, Chip. That evening, Chip accompanies Needy as they wait for Jennifer to pick her up. Needy and Jennifer are extremely close friends, almost as if they share a strong special bond. This is shown when Needy somehow senses that Jennifer has arrived at her house before actually seeing her. And Jennifer also seems aware that Needy is upstairs with her boyfriend. Chip openly admits that he does not like Jennifer because of the way she speaks harshly and often belittles Needy. When they arrive at the bar where the band is performing, Jennifer immediately draws the attention of many men. As the most beautiful girl in that small town, countless guys want to date her, but Jennifer never entertains their advances. There, Jennifer and Needy briefly talk about an awkward exchange student named Ahmed, who looks out of place at the bar. Not long after, the main act finally arrives. Jennifer's attention immediately locks onto Nikolai, the handsome lead singer of Low Shoulder. Without hesitation, she shyly introduces herself and offers to buy him a drink. While Jennifer goes to get the drinks, Needy accidentally overhears Nikolai talking to his bandmates. In a chilling tone, he speculates that Jennifer might still be a virgin. Feeling uncomfortable with what she hears, Needy confronts Nikolai and tells him to stay away from Jennifer. She also warns Jennifer about how Nikolai was speaking about her disrespectfully. However, Jennifer brushes it off and casually states that she is definitely not a virgin. Their conversation is cut short when Low Shoulder begins performing. Suddenly, the building catches fire in the middle of the show. Strangely, the band continues playing as if nothing is happening. While the crowd panics and desperately tries to escape, Needy manages to help a traumatized Jennifer out through a bathroom window and attempts to calm her down. Not long after, Nikolai approaches them as if nothing has happened. Taking advantage of Jennifer's shaken state, he forces her to drink whiskey and then offers both Jennifer and Needy a ride. Jennifer immediately agrees to go with Nikolai, and he quickly pulls her into his van. Needy can only stand there in silence, watching Jennifer being taken away by a stranger. She begs Jennifer not to go with them, but Jennifer refuses to listen. That night, Needy returns home in a panic and immediately calls Chip. She tells him about all the horrifying things she witnessed about people burning alive and her best friend getting into a van with strangers. Chip, who has never liked Jennifer, tells Needy not to think too much about it. Not long after, Needy hears the doorbell ring. She goes downstairs to open the door, but no one is there. As she turns to head back upstairs, she hears a noise coming from the kitchen. She walks in to check the source of the sound and suddenly finds Jennifer standing there. Her body is dirty and covered in blood, and she begins acting very strangely, making Needy even more worried. Jennifer simply stares at her with a terrifying smile. She rummages through the refrigerator and tries to eat, but instead vomits a thick black liquid that looks like tar. Needy panics and is about to call for help when Jennifer suddenly pins her against the wall, caresses her body, and nearly bites her before abruptly leaving. The next day, the school is in chaos as everyone talks about the bar fire that claimed many lives. Several of their classmates have died in the tragedy. In the middle of the tense atmosphere, Needy seems distracted, still haunted by the events of the previous night. Meanwhile, Jennifer shows up acting completely normal. And even more disturbingly, She shows no concern at all over the deaths of people they knew. She behaves as if she does not remember going to Needy's house and vomiting in the kitchen. After school, Needy tries to tell Chip about Jennifer's strange behavior, but he begins to question Needy's sanity instead. At the same time, Jennifer approaches Jonas, a student who is still grieving the death of his best friend in the fire. Before the tragedy, Jonas's friend had briefly spoken with Jennifer. Jennifer uses this to manipulate Jonas, telling him that his friend would have wanted to see him date her. She then invites Jonas to go into the woods with her, and without suspicion he agrees. They begin making out, but it does not last long before Jennifer reveals her horrifying true form and brutally devours Jonas's body in a matter of moments. His screams are heard by a teacher in the distance. At first, the teacher assumes Jonas is crying out in grief, but when he goes to check on him, he is shocked to find Jonas's body in a brutal state. The police soon arrive to evacuate the remains. Not far from there, Jennifer is seen swimming naked in a lake, looking calm and satisfied. Meanwhile, Needy is preparing a meal at home. As she cooks, she hears a radio broadcast reporting that Low Shoulder has gone viral and is even being hailed as national heroes for the incident at Devil's Kettle. Needy is stunned because as a witness to the fire, she never saw any of the band members helping the victims. Instead, they simply left as if nothing had happened. That night, Jennifer calls Needy and tells her that she feels amazing, urging her to stop grieving over the deaths of others. While on the phone, Jennifer does something that feels deeply unsettling. Shortly after, the call is interrupted when Chip contacts Needy. With a shaken voice, he informs her that Jonas, his neighbor, has been found dead. Needy immediately goes to comfort him, and Chip explains that Jonas's body was discovered torn apart in the woods. Over the next few days, the entire town remains drowned in grief due to the many lives lost in such a short time. Everyone tries to move forward except Jennifer, who seems to glow more than ever. The tragedy at Devil's Kettle even reaches national news, making Low Shoulder increasingly famous and widely praised. Their popularity peaks after they release a new song said to be inspired by the fire. Even so, the townspeople attempt to carry on with their lives despite the deep sorrow. A month passes after the incident. During class, Jennifer appears pale and unhealthy, which makes Needy begin to worry about her condition. After school, a male student named Colin approaches Jennifer and nervously asks her out on a date. Jennifer coldly rejects him at first, but when Needy comments that Colin seems kind and pleasant, Jennifer suddenly changes her mind and invites him to come over that night. Not long after, Chip arrives to see Needy. On impulse, Needy kisses him because she is afraid Jennifer might try to seduce her boyfriend. That night, Needy and Chip decide to take their relationship further for the first time. At the same time, the innocent Colin arrives at the address Jennifer sent him, only to find the house empty and abandoned. Curious, he goes inside and upstairs where he sees Jennifer staring at him with a terrifying expression, making him realize that it is not her home. Jennifer briefly seduces him, but the atmosphere suddenly turns dark. Colin panics as his arm is twisted until it is injured, and just as she did with Jonas, Jennifer brutally attacks him and devours his body. At the same time, Needy experiences a disturbing vision in which the ceiling of the room appears to bleed, and the figures of Jonas and Jennifer appear like living corpses. Terrified by what she sees, Needy quickly gets dressed and runs out of Chip's house. On the road, she suddenly sees Jennifer covered in blood and instinctively swerves the steering wheel. Unable to believe her eyes, Needy stops the car for a moment to look back, but out of nowhere, Jennifer leaps onto the windshield with a feral expression, causing Needy to drive away in fear. She returns home devastated and in tears, questioning her own sanity. After calming down slightly, she goes back to her room to sleep, only to find that Jennifer is already there. This time, Jennifer looks healthy, radiant, and even more beautiful than usual. Jennifer then tells Needy that she needs to explain something, and begins recounting what happened after she got into Low Shoulder's van on the night of the fire. As the van drove into the woods, Jennifer became frightened. At first, she thought the band members were going to assault her. So, in an attempt to protect herself, she pretended to be an inexperienced virgin. However, the van stopped near the Devil's Kettle waterfall where they dragged her out and tied her up as a sacrifice in a satanic ritual meant to grant them fame.
It is revealed that the band members are devil worshippers, willing to sacrifice human lives.
Despite Jennifer's desperate pleas, Nikolai stabbed her repeatedly with a knife until she died, then threw the knife into the waterfall and left her body behind. But then, Jennifer came back to life. She does not fully understand how she survived, but she realizes she is no longer entirely human. When she first regained consciousness after the ritual, she felt an overwhelming hunger and went to Needy's house. She felt the urge to consume human flesh, but because Needy is her best friend, she could not bring herself to hurt her and chose to leave instead. On her way, she encountered Ahmed, one of the fire victims who had actually survived and was trying to make his way home. Jennifer lured him into the woods under the pretense of taking a shortcut, intending to make him her prey. After devouring Ahmed, she realized that her hunger could only be satisfied by eating human flesh. Jennifer explains that when she is well fed, her body becomes incredibly strong and immune to injury. To prove it, she cuts her own hand, and within seconds the wound heals on its own. Overwhelmed by the revelation, Needy demands that Jennifer should leave. With reluctance, Jennifer exits through the window, leaving Needy alone in fear and confusion. The next day, Needy attends Colin's funeral. There, she finally realizes that the blood-covered Jennifer she saw the night before had just devoured Colin. Afterward, Needy goes to the library and spends the next several days reading books about demons, trying to understand what truly happened to Jennifer. From those books, she learns about a ritual performed to gain fame by sacrificing a virgin girl to a succubus demon. However, if the victim is not a virgin, the perpetrators still gain fame while the victim returns to life possessed by a succubus and must consume human flesh to survive. This explains why Jennifer came back to life after being sacrificed, because she was not a virgin, allowing the demon to inhabit her body. The only way to kill such a demon is by stabbing it through the heart, and it is easier to do so when the demon is hungry and weakened. She later explains her findings to Chip. Unfortunately, Chip dismisses everything as nonsense and refuses to believe her. Needy then begs Chip not to attend the upcoming school dance, hoping to protect him from Jennifer. She is convinced that Jennifer will look for prey at the dance, so she plans to go herself to keep an eye on her. However, Chip insists on attending, and their argument causes tension in their relationship. Soon enough, the school dance begins. Before leaving, Chip's mother gives him pepper spray for protection, knowing that a flesh-eating monster is still on the loose. At the same time, Jennifer appears pale and weak again, a sign that she is hungry. Needy arrives at the dance early, scanning the room for Jennifer. Meanwhile, Chip is walking alone when Jennifer approaches him suspiciously. She begins lying about Needy, claiming that Needy cheated on him with Colin, and persuades Chip to come with her to get revenge. Inside the hall, Band Low Shoulder is performing, which makes Needy feel disgusted as they take the stage. Through their strange psychic bond, Needy senses that something is wrong. She runs out, goes to Chip's house to look for him, but his mother tells her that he left for the dance 20 minutes earlier. Realizing Chip is not at the party, Needy panics and rushes to find him. Meanwhile, Jennifer has taken Chip to an abandoned swimming pool. She tries to kiss him again, but Chip refuses because he truly loves Needy. Enraged by the rejection, Jennifer throws him into the pool and attacks him. Just then, Needy arrives and sees her boyfriend in danger. Without hesitation, she jumps into the pool to pull Jennifer away. Chip hands her the pepper spray, and Needy immediately sprays it into Jennifer's face. Furious, Jennifer vomits black liquid and rises above the surface of the water. While Needy helps Chip out of the pool, Needy confronts Jennifer, accusing her of never being a good friend and always taking what belonged to her. Those words enrage Jennifer, and she aggressively moves toward Needy. At that moment, Chip fights back and stabs Jennifer with a metal rod. Although injured, Needy knows it is not enough to kill her. Strangely, Jennifer stops attacking and chooses to leave, abandoning Needy and Chip. After she is gone, Chip, who has lost too much blood, dies on the spot. His death devastates Needy and fills her with grief and rage. She becomes consumed by vengeance, determined to kill Jennifer for taking away the person she loved. That night, as Jennifer tries to sleep, she is startled when Needy climbs through her bedroom window. Jennifer fights back and bites Needy's neck, and a brutal struggle breaks out between them. In the middle of the fight, Needy rips off their shared friendship necklace, causing Jennifer to hesitate. Seizing the moment, Needy stabs Jennifer through the heart, killing her. From the beginning, Jennifer never truly intended to hurt Needy because of their deep bond, which is why she does not use her full strength against her. When Needy tears off the necklace, Jennifer feels hurt and distracted, and that brief vulnerability ultimately leads to her death at Needy's hands. Hearing the commotion, Jennifer's mother rushes to her bedroom and is horrified to find her only daughter dead at the hands of her own best friend. From that moment on, Needy is arrested and placed in a mental institution. The story then returns to the present, where Needy is still being held in solitary confinement at the facility because she was bitten by Jennifer. Needy has inherited demonic powers. She no longer needs to wear glasses, and since she is still human, she does not have to consume human flesh to survive. Using the power she gained from Jennifer, Needy easily escapes from the institution. During her escape, she retrieves the knife that Nikolai once used to kill Jennifer and makes her way to a Low Shoulder concert by hitching a ride with a stranger. After the concert ends, it is revealed that all members of Low Shoulder are found dead that same night, strongly implying that Needy is responsible, and that is where the story ends.